Hello and welcome to Football Daily, where today we're wrapping up the campaign with our Premier League team of the season. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Goalkeeper, José Sa. We kick off our 11 with a surprise, Wolves goalkeeper José Sa. He may not be as sophisticated or highly regarded as Ederson or Alisson, but the Portuguese has been sensational this season, especially for under £8 million, stopping 80% of shots he's faced for the best save percentage in the league, a massive 3% ahead of the next best keeper. Sa has racked up 11 clean sheets, only bettered by the top 5 teams, and according to XG he's saved his club a whopping 10 goals, second best in Europe. Given that Wolves are one of the worst attacking sides in the league, with only Burnley, Watford and Norwich scoring fewer, that overperformance is the sole reason they've had such a relaxed campaign. Sa's saves carrying them from their 40 expected points and 15th place to 51 points and 10th, while he also rates well for claiming crosses and sweeping up outside the box, placing third among PL keepers in both categories. Deservedly named Wolves Player of the Season, Sa will hope to end a great campaign with a first senior cap for his country at the age of 29. You can't say he hasn't earned it. Right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Another stellar campaign for Trent Alexander-Arnold has already produced 2 medals and could add another, an achievement which would bring him to a trophy every 32 games since he broke into the first team, while another 12 league assists put him at 45 before his 24th birthday. At this rate he could be second on the all-time list by the time he's 30, though Ryan Giggs' mark of 162 may remain out of reach. Still, by every passing metric, TAA is one of the best to ever do it. For passes into the box per game in Europe's top 5 leagues, only Messi, Benzema and Serge Gnabry outmatch him this season. He's 25th for passes into the final third and 5th for progressive passes. Oh, and he takes or creates 4.6 shots a game for his team, with only KDB, Grealish and Ziyech managing more in the Prem, while his 2.7 chances created a game is unheard of for a right back, the legendary Dani Alves topping out at just 2.1. He may not be elite defensively, but TAA does regain possession 4 times a game, and more importantly his attacking prowess means teams have to adjust to deal with him, weakening them and strengthening Liverpool. All this, and he's yet to hit his prime. Centre-back, Aymeric Laporte. After under 2,500 minutes in the last 2 seasons put together, Aymeric Laporte went into 2021-22 in Ruben Dias's shadow, but he's once again shown why he made the PL Team of the Year in 2018-19. The Spaniard is City's most used defender, has netted 4 times, and has helped his team concede the fewest goals in Europe's top 5 leagues in their second best defensive campaign ever, regaining Guardiola's confidence in style. Always great on the ball, Laporte has become laughably good this term. Only Toni Kroos and Thiago pass into the final third more than him, only Dembele, Vinicius, Grealish and Messi carry the ball forward more often, and he's been defensively outstanding too, with the best success in the challenge of his career, outranking Matip, Rudiger and Dias. Though a Champions League semi-exit may have soured the season, Laporte is back to his best and primed for another assault on all fronts in 2023. With output like this, it's just a matter of time until the citizens win it all. Centre-back, Virgil van Dijk. After a year out with a ligament rupture, Virgil van Dijk could easily have come back a different player this season, but the Liverpool mainstay, now 30, has barely missed a beat. Completing 73% of his tackles, the Dutchman has been dribbled past just 4 times all year, made just 12 fouls in 34 games, and only Brentford's Norgard has recovered possession more often in the Prem. But Van Dijk hasn't done it alone. Joel Matip has been the equal of his defensive partner in 2021-22, and it's only Van Dijk's higher minute count that sees him edge out the Cameroonian. Believe it or not, Matip's passing has been better, with superior success on long balls and 5 progressive passes per 90 to VVD's 3, while he makes almost twice as many tackles and interceptions a match, helping the Reds to their best defensive record since 2018-19, even beating their title-winning performance. Together, the pair have restricted opponents to just 47 goals in 62 games to date, reached 3 finals, and kept pace with City in the league. That's as good as it gets. Left back, Joao Cancelo. Being as good as Joao Cancelo and not being the best right back in the league might be frustrating if it weren't for the fact the Portuguese happens to be the best left back this season. Like Trent, Cancelo's skill set refuses to be hampered by his position, and it's no surprise he's Man City's most used outfielder this term, as well as contributing a goal and 7 assists to the Citizens' title charge. He runs forward with the ball as much as Bernardo Silva and gets into the danger zone as much as an elite number 10, passing into the box 2.6 times per 90, just behind De Bruyne's 2.7. But though you'd expect that to come at a cost, don't let anyone tell you he's a problem off the ball, leading City in defensive actions with 5 a game, more than workhorses like Fabinho or John McGinn, and only getting beaten as often as Ruben Dias. To maintain such a high level in such a good side while playing a ton of minutes in the game's most demanding position should be impossible. For Joao Cancelo, it's the most natural thing in the world. Central midfielder, Declan Rice. Watching a good player become great is one of the sport's best sights, and Declan Rice is doing just that. Beginning the year with a Euros final and ending it by taking West Ham to the Europa League semis, the 23-year-old is consistent, versatile and dynamic, and now faces his pick of top teams if he wants to leave the Irons, or an 8-year contract worth £83 million if he stays. Always a strong ball winner, Rice continues to average 5 tackles and interceptions per 90 for the Hammers, but it's his ability in possession which has blossomed in 2021-22. For passes into the final third, only 3 Manchester City players outrank the Englishman in the Prem, and in full flight he's borderline unstoppable, carrying the ball forward 7 times a match, up from 3 2 years ago, to rank in the top 2% of midfielders. He's even completing 82% of long balls and has chipped in 5 goal involvements, just 1 fewer than Grealish or Sancho, achievements which should have been rewarded with Champions League football. After a transfer, he still might get it, but mostly we hope that Rice's spell with West Ham ends warmly. After all, both he and the club have given each other so much. Central midfielder, Rodri. We wish we could have found a place for Thiago, Bernardo Silva or Mason Mount here, who has had a hand in nearly 30% of Chelsea's goals this term. But instead we're picking the less glamorous Rodri, without whom it would be impossible to imagine Man City winning the league, quietly doing the job of 2 men in Pep Guardiola's engine room. As you'd expect, the Spaniard's passing stats are ludicrous, pinging it into the final third 8 times a match and completing 86% of his long balls alone, but he's also an active presser, only trailing Phil Foden at the Etihad, has improved his tackle success rate for the 5th year running, wins 75% of his aerial duels, and has even chipped in 7 goals in league play, as City have overcome their centre-forward hole to outscore everyone else in the Prem once again. One of only 4 City outfielders to start more than 30 Premier League games, Rodri has shaken off a dodgy first year in England to become as reliable a presence as his predecessor Fernandinho. We couldn't give him a better recommendation. Central midfielder, Kevin De Bruyne. Given his form down the stretch, it's easy to forget how slowly Kevin De Bruyne started the season. An ankle issue and Covid led to a patchy autumn, and by Christmas, the Belgian had only produced 4 goals and assists in league play, leading some to question how much Pep Guardiola could rely on him as City pursued trophies on 4 fronts. However, the 30-year-old has been unplayable since January, producing 19 goal contributions in 18 appearances after Christmas to hit the second best goals to game ratio of his time in Manchester. He's creating more chances than anyone in Europe with an insane 3.5 per 90 and is getting around 3 shots of his own, as well as placing in the top 5% of midfielders for forward passes, touches in the penalty area and expected goals. In fact, his numbers look like a combination of Mateo Kovacic and Neymar, a brilliant build-up master who's also a massive goal threat. Having previously matched Thierry Henry's record of 20 assists in a Premier League season, the arrival of Haaland will have De Bruyne setting sights on a new benchmark in creativity. If anyone's going to do it, it'll be him. Right wing, Bukayo Saka. Although Arsenal's disappointing end to the season has sparked the usual fan base meltdown, it's worth remembering how the Gunners started the campaign. 3 straight defeats ramped up the toxicity from the start. The Guardian projected Arteta's team to finish 7th, and bookmakers gave them just a 1 in 5 chance of making the Champions League, preferring Leicester's odds. So it's a testament to this young squad that they fought through injury to end up 5th, and Bukayo Saka has come of age as their leader. The 20-year-old went into the season bruised by his missed penalty in the Euros final, but ends it having played every league match and with 18 goals and assists, the most in the side and the same as Sadio Mane. Only Gabriel and Ramsdale have earned more minutes for Arsenal, and Saka is top of the squad for XG, expected assists, dribbles, progressive carries and shots, while he's played 7 different positions to keep his team afloat, his love of the club evident every time he appears. Now one of the league's best wingers and the first name on the team sheet, Saka ranks alongside Serge Gnabry as Arsenal's best academy product since Fabregas. At this rate, he could one day surpass even him. Centre forward, Mohamed Salah. The Premier League top scorer and assister with 23 and 13 respectively, Mo Salah is once again the division's best player. He's now hit 20 goals in 4 out of 5 campaigns in England and 30 in all competitions for the third time, and with the FA Cup and EFL Cup has completed his collection of club silverware, chiselling his name into the folklore of one of the game's great sides. If there's an underreported feature of Salah's greatness, it's his reliability. Despite a mid-season departure for the AFCON, which ended in a devastating final loss to Senegal, he's missed just 3 league games and overall has been absent for just 10 out of 190 Premier League fixtures since he returned to England in 2017. This term he's taken or created a shot every 15 minutes, taken a touch in the box every 9 minutes and received a forward pass every 8 minutes, making him central to everything Liverpool do, while he's been involved in more goals personally than Norwich, Watford or Burnley have as entire teams. He's made the remarkable normal. Amazingly, Liverpool have been able to turn over their front line while staying competitive, largely due to Salah's excellence. As good a wide man as the league has ever seen. Left wing, Heung-Min Son. Every summer it seems the North London rumour mill is fixated on the chances of Harry Kane leaving, but remarkably Heung-Min Son has never attracted the same attention. That means the Korean has spent his entire prime with Spurs, and now at 29 he's had the season of his life, breaking the 20 barrier for the first time with 23 goals and 7 assists in the Prem. Statistically, Son looks more like a striker than ever before, with the lowest pressures, defensive actions and second lowest dribbles of his spell in London, while his shots are closer to goal. That means he matched Salah for the Golden Boot this term with 0 penalties, and his XG is now in the top 4% of attackers, while his finishing remains arguably the best in England, with an unbelievable 53% of his attempts hitting the target, highest among regular shooters and way ahead of Kane on 39% and Ronaldo on 36%. Son's goals have won Tottenham 6 games, trailing only CR7, and he's deservedly been named the club's player of the season for the 3rd time. One of the world's most underrated forwards, no praise is too high for this modern Spurs great. So that's the FD team of the season, but who would you have included and who would you have left out? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, drop us a like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and you'll never miss an upload. We'll see you next time.